Well, I know that I'm talking to the empaths and I'm talking to the magical people and those of you that are a bit psychic, Taurus, which is most of you, because in getting ready to do this reading, one deck of tarot cards, which we'll be using for this reading, this one, just went all over the floor. It was like, yeah, I'll just go all over the floor. And I was thinking, okay, that's the one. And then I'm down if a second one didn't do it too, an oracle deck. So I thought, okay, 2 cards there just literally fell out and showed themselves to me. So I'm going to show you those in a minute. And what is this? Oh, I like this. Okay. We get Benefactor as your overall oracle card. And this is about giving and or receiving. We don't know yet because honestly, there's a lot to unpack here. Okay. The 2 oracle cards that dropped out were Triggered, yeah, and Separation. Whew. Okay, now we don't know, and in the second half of this I will do a love reading. We'll look at love and relationships. I don't know whether that separation is in relationship. My cats, by the way, it's raining and you can probably hear it on the roof. The cats are like, I'll go in, I'll go out, I'll go in, I'll go out. You know what I mean? It's turning into like a cat soap opera. So you're going to hear lots of clunking and maybe see a couple of cats at some point as well. Okay, we also have the 6 of Cups. Relationships are in the mix. I was going to give it a fair crack of the whip and say to myself, you know, maybe, and it could be about a job or whatever, but relationships are in the mix. Including, good coffee, including your relationship with yourself at the moment as well. Oh, the joys of that. Is she going to start banging on about self-love? Probably. Probably, Taurus. Okay. I feel like there is a sharpening of focus. There is a realization coming to you in the next 3-4 weeks, maybe as we turn the year. There's a realization about a situation, somebody, and what part they played in it, and what part you may have played in it, and it's complicated, I can see from this. So on the deck that kindly volunteered itself onto the floor before I did this, we've got the 6 of Cups. And when you get the 6 of Cups, there is this attachment. It's sometimes a card of longing, of nostalgia. It's what I call the hometown card. So it's like longing for an ex or longing for somewhere you used to live, longing for a sense of belonging, longing for belonging. That rhymes. Longing for home, longing to feel yourself, longing to be aligned, either with someone else, with yourself, with all of those things. You feel a bit, and I want to say, like a fish out of water, even though you're not the fish in astrological things, because Pisces is, and that's me. But either way, you're feeling at the edge of things, and I don't know why. Then we get the Ace of Swords, which tells us you're going to get some downloads. You're going to get some ideas, inputs, psychic downloads, whatever you want to call them as a Taurus. They're probably going to come to you, like I said, I'm talking to the psychics, the empaths, the tarot readers. They're going to come to you in weird and wonderful ways, as they do with Taurus. By the way, I've got to show you my new nails because I had them done today. I think you're going to like them. Look at that. Infinity, I think it was called. With stars. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. I'm going to have a second card on this because I want to know about what these downloads are. But next to it, it did come up with the 4 of Cups, which is like sitting under a tree. You know, it can be a little bit petulant. You're feeling like, ugh, what fresh hell is this? I'm just going to sit under a tree / under my duvet. Which, being Taurians, it's likely to be a very good bed setup. And let me know in the comments, because I lived through other star signs being a Pisces. What's the bed setup? Not in a pervy OnlyFans kind of a way, more in a sort of thread count, cushiony. I know that you're good for the bed setup, and I want you to tell us the tea in the comments. Okay, let's have a look at what the downloady stuff might be. Yes, Tarot Nouveau. Yeah, if you can hear pitter patter, it's rain. I'm doing this in the middle of a sort of horrible storm. But it's so nice and cozy to be inside, isn't it? And how lucky we are to have shelter. So I see it that way. Tell me a bit more. Okay, good. About the Ace of Swords and what's coming in for Taurus. Can I take all of those? Okay, we'll unpack. It's a lot. It's a lot of cards. Nice. Ooh, you'd be pleased I said yes to that. Okay. Itchy nose. Right, let's lay these bad boys out because otherwise I'm not going to see. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards fell out. Okay, the Two of Cups. Well, that's pretty nice, isn't it? We love the Two of Cups. And, you know, you can feel that this reading is kind of geared towards relationships, whether that is friendships, whether that is special relationships. There's a sense of harmony with the Six of Cups and the Two of Cups, but you've also got this triggered and you've got separation as well. Okay, let's just park that there, that it's complicated and that it's contradictory. Because often in tarot, as a reader, and the experienced readers among you will know, that because you come up against a contradiction, God, I've got this weird hair thing going on today. Because you come up against a contradiction does not mean that you need to smooth it out or make it equal. Sometimes it isn't. So I'm just going to hold that for you in this reading, okay? There is closeness, there is love, there is togetherness, there is parity, and there is separation being triggered and needing downloads. No one said it was easy. Okay. Then we get the Ace of Pentacles, great card for a Taurus because it's an earth card, but also it's an ace, and also it's about being extremely realistic. This is a time for you to be hibernating, to be grounded, to be in your comfort, but also to be observing. Okay, not just, you know, enjoying the butt dent in the sofa, even though that is nice. Being comfortable, tuning in, and I'm kind of getting a channel of trees, and you know how all the roots are underground, they sort of all communicate with each other. I'm getting that for you. So you are the tree in this, and you are the roots. It's putting things to a realism test. In other words, how much does this correspond with reality? Because you also get the Seven of Cups, and this card is when you're into kind of fantasy thinking land, and you're making things up, you're plugging gaps, you're being a bit Neptunian, you know, which is a bit more sort of fifth dimension flyaway, but without any proof. And I think you have this side to you, Taurus, that's very psychic, and I always say that, but you also have a side to you that's very earthy and grounded, and somehow you need to be both about whatever this situation is for you. You need to be right out there. You need to be listening to the beat of your heart, but also to your soul, your brain. You need to be in tune with your body because Taurians are very somatic. Is your heart racing? You know, are you feeling really tired? Are you feeling what makes you feel revved up and like healthy? So there's something here about, it's not all logical, but it's also not all in the fantasy realm either. You're kind of trying to find this middle ground, which is not easy because I'm picking up some gaslighting, and I've got no cards really to say that. This is just me picking up on it. I'm picking up on gaslighting, which, you know, it's insidious gaslighting. It happens in plain sight most of the time. We'll have a look whether that's anything to do with the relationship stuff in a minute. But Seven of Cups is a gaslighting card. Maybe you already know you're being gaslit by somebody, or you feel like you might be. And that happens. But for God's sake, don't gaslight yourself. Okay? That's the thing. Then we have the Three of Wands. Itchy nose. My psychic kind of thing, by the way, is to get allergies and an itchy nose. I know. So as this reading goes on, I'm going like this. So at least you know it's on the money. Hey. Three of Wands, there is some expansion in this, but you don't really know where that is yet. And the Three of Cups, there is connection in this, but you don't really know where that is yet. I'm going to take Brian and Wendy Frood, Heart of the Fairy Oracle, because it's calling to me. Yes. Is there a question you've been avoiding about a friendship, about a relationship? Let's have a look. Oof, hello. Yes. Okay, I get that one. Yes, and I get that one too. Okay, I get it. First card from Brian and Wendy Frood is the question. When you get the question, you're focusing on finding answers, but you're not focused on finding the right questions. I know, let that sink in a minute. Often when we're on, and this looks a bit like it, guy's going off with a knapsack, you know, he's sort of asking the big weird creature, you know, speaking to HR, there he is, and ready to go off on a quest. So if you have been thinking, you know, that there are missing pieces of information that you don't really know, you can't make up your mind, or you don't know whether to believe what you feel, you're not asking the right questions yet. Forget the answers. They're not actually as important as you think they are. The questions are where it's at. And then in terms of that, this card has no number. See how this one has a number and it has a title, the question. There's a few in this deck that don't, maybe 3. And the reader, me, who's had this deck for a while, probably, God, a long time, like 9 years or something. God, I feel old. I named this the 8 of Mushrooms just because it has the busyness and the feel of movement of an 8, and because it's toadstools, and I can't really call it the 8 of toadstools. It's the 8 of Mushrooms, and I know what it means. It means mushrooms grow in the dark. There's something that you feel that you know, or maybe even you found out a bit about something, and maybe that's to do with this, the Triggered and the Separation cards. God, really giving me a funny nose. The next message is Mercury, or the Messenger. The Messenger, I mean, Mercury is a bit of a one on at any time, but when it comes up in this deck as the Messenger, it's telling you that either the messages this person is sending you are not quite correct, or the way you're interpreting it is not quite correct, or if you're getting your information off social media or third party, there may be like a slip up. It's a weird card. It feels kind of slippery. There's something slippery about the communication. That's why I feel like there's gaslighting, because if you're going to be gaslit or there's gaslighting involved, then the communication necessarily has to be very malleable. Because otherwise it would be straight talking and then you wouldn't be being gaslit. I know that sounds really weird. By the way, there will be an extended love reading to this, and I am going to do, especially because of that card, you and me side by side mirror love reading. Okay, so that will be the extended if this does resonate with you. We get the dog. Now I like the dog because the dog is loyalty. And I like that very much, that you got that. Yeah. You get the wave, which is like up and down, highs and lows, coming in and out. I'm getting fade. I'm getting fade in, fade out. Ooh. And then I get the lighthouse. A guiding light is only useful if you're willing to follow it. Tell us about, and I'm going to use some shadow cards here, the heart of the matter for Taurus. It feels like confusion. It feels like not believing your own intuition, and it feels like something grows in the dark and you sort of know it is, but it's kind of silent. What is the heart of the matter? Taurus, you always get the juicy readings. Jesus. It's not messing about. Bloody hell. Okay. Right, where's my readers? I need to see this. Okay. Heart of the matter, the Seven of Wands. When you get the Seven of Wands, it's Mars in Leo, and it's about choosing a side. And I'm going to say here, it's whether you're on your side or not. You don't need to be on their side. They can defend their own side. You need to be on your side. But it's unclear as to where your side is. So if you can, spend some time in repose, which is nice for a Taurus anyway. Get cozy, get hibernate-y, and just have a feel for where your feelings are landed and where they're coming from and how they make you feel. And if you felt like this before, because we've got the Six of Cups here as well. And then there is going to come a time where you need to draw the line, you need to choose, but that time is not here yet. Okay? Next card of your shadow, Two of Cups. Not just a flash in the pan. So we had the Two of Cups here, and now we have the Two of Cups here with my nails. Okay. I've got a Shakespeare line, love does not alter where it alteration finds. In other words, I think love doesn't change just because people change. There's an enduring bond here of something. And with the Six of Cups, it's gone on for a long time. The bond itself may be older than the relationship. That's interesting. Okay. Then we get the Ace of Wands as a shadow card with the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords as a shadow card. This is Shadow Fates Tarot by Hattie Thorne, by the way, because everybody always asks me. It's love, but not as you know it. How weird is that? I'm going to have to get a pen and write that down at this point. Hang on. I've got to write that down. That's an important thing for you, Taurus. That's where the Sharpie went. I've been looking for that all day. Isn't it weird how you stop looking for something and then you find it when you don't need it anymore? Okay. It's love, but not as you know it. The timeline here is not what you thought it was. The issue is not quite what you thought it was, and the truth isn't. The truth hasn't fully been born yet in this situation, which is weird, isn't it? So when you get the Ace of Wands as a shadow card, it's telling you not to move quickly, and you're fixed earth, so I feel confident that you can master that. When you have the Ace of Swords, it's telling you you're not going to get everything in one go. These downloads are going to be like waves. And it's interesting that you get the lighthouse because it keeps you away from the cliffs, okay? The other shadow card you get, lovely Taurus, is the Nine of Swords, which is worry and overthinking. There is a conflict in a relationship that you have, either with yourself, with somebody else, in a friendship, in a love relationship. And at the moment, it doesn't really make sense, and I get that, but the contradiction stands, and sometimes relationships are conflicted. It's a relationship that has a strong 5D component. It's necessary for you to reflect. It's necessary for you to be careful how you receive information, and when you get information, to analyze it properly, to put it to the test with the Ace of Pentacles, and to measure in reality the proof of this, rather than making things up to make yourself feel better. Don't drop into the comfort zone in that way. We then get this, which is the question, which is telling us that if we're on the hunt for answers, we should be on the hunt for questions. That's so strange that you get that. In the extended reading, I'm going to do you and them side by side reading, and I think there's going to be a shadow element to that as well, because you and this person, your shadow sides, I get this sometimes with readings, your shadow sides are like, you know, when you used to make finger puppets on the wall, they're influencing each other, they're joined with somebody else, with this other person, and nice. It's complicated. Some of it's in shadow, some of it's in light. Not all of it may in the end come to light, but don't close your eyes to it. 3 oracle cards, you get Treasure Island, which I am very pleased to see, because this is a card that says it's far away, but it's there. Abundance is there. And anything that has paper confetti hearts gets my vote. Poised. You're kind of on the edge of something. And I think you can feel it. And if you're not feeling it now, you're going to be. But I think you are feeling it now, to be fair. And then you get one of my very favourite cards, Taurus, the Blessed Prawn. This is a very simple card because it's literally your energy is blessed. In this situation, the universe is looking out for you. Okay, so you don't have to cover all of the bases. I'm going to go do the extended. I'm going to look at this triggered and separation card as well. And I'm going to look at gaslighting. I'm going to look at card for you, card for your person, card for you, card for your person, side by side. And we're going to riff from that. Okay? And there will be more cat shenanigans, I'm sure, because this has been pretty good. The link is in the description box. I'll see you on the other side, lovely Taurus. Namaste.